So the first player that we're going to look at from LSU, Paul Skeens.
With the first pick, the Pittsburgh Pirates pick Paul Skeens.
Infielder Tommy Troy.
Next up, we got Matt McLean.
Nolan Shanuel. Chase Dolander. Matt Shaw.
Bryce Rain. Ethan Schiefelbein. This is the most polished left-handed pitcher we've seen in the...
Here's the really interesting thing about that.
So the next guy we're going to talk about is one of the most special hitters that I've ever had the opportunity to work with, and it's Dean Moss out of IMG Academy. So when you have a guy that can impact the ball like he can with the hit tool that he has, like if we go back and we look at his high school numbers, they're ridiculous. So his 3-year varsity totals at IMG, this is a body of work against really good competition. And the numbers are no different if you go look at USA, if you go look at the summer, if you go look at WWBA. Bottom line is, everywhere this kid goes, he rakes. He hit .442 over the course of his career through 231 plate appearances. Here's the best part. He's got a .563 OBP with a .622 slug and an 1185 OPS. An 1185 OPS over the course of his career. Every single year was an OBP over 485. The last 2 years it was over 600. Every year was a slug over 550. This year it was 671. And every year was an OPS over 1,000. So let's take a look at some data. At IMG, they have an in-game system. Max exit velo, 114.7 at 6 foot 185. Wow, that's different. 621 on base at home. 786 slug at home, and a 1406 OPS at home. That is ridiculous. From a hit tool perspective in the class, like, that's it. The things he's accomplished in the last 6-7 years are nothing short of incredible, okay? That kid walked in as an 11-year-old, and he walked in for an evaluation as a pitcher, okay? He was throwing 74 miles an hour, absolute fuel, but he really wanted to hit. And he was hitting 9-hole on his travel team at the time. In 3 days of training, his exit velos went up 15 miles an hour. Here's a month and a half later, okay? This is 11-year-old Dean hitting an absolute nuke. This is a big league swing at 11 years old. He was able to learn how to do this like that. He went from 9-hole to 3-hole like that. Look at this swing. Look at this forward move, getting to the front, holding on to the back. Look at the entry, right? And then whack, look at the barrel delivery, right? Little scissor action, heel dropping into the ground, leveraging that weight into the ball. I mean, that happened really, really fast, right? It's not a common thing for kids to go from 9-hole on their travel team to the best hitter on their travel team to, in a couple months, short months later, and literally, 2 months, 3 months later, being one of the best hitters in the country. He ended up making the 12 USA team that year. He came down for his evaluation in March or April, and then he ended up making the USA team and hitting 5-hole in June. I mean, talk about a turnaround, okay? And when you watch him hit, let's look at some of the stuff that this kid's done. This is him, I believe this was freshman year. And when you watch these moves, look how tight this turn is, and look how much mass he leverages into that ball against his front side. If you take a look at the body here, this is a thicker kid. After he started to rake and he got on the scene, and then people started to judge him, talking, oh, he can hit, but he's slow. Well, he also had a size 13 shoe at 12 years old, and Dean basically decided, okay, you think I'm slow? I'm gonna be a center fielder. And then he decided to work on his speed, and all of a sudden, you start to see his body change, right? And he's still absolutely demolishing balls. This is a BP swing from a couple of years ago. These are some really good positions, right? Look how his barrel kind of lays down into the zone. He's done it at every level since he was 11 years old. He's been one of the best hitters in the entire country. And if you ask first rounders from this year's draft and from last year's draft that played with him, and you ask them, hey, out of all the guys you ever played with, if you had one guy for one at bat to win a championship, right? Who's that guy? A lot of them are going to say Dean Moss because his at-bats are nasty. Like his take, I saw him at 17U WWBA, sophomore year of high school. In his first like 12 or 14 at-bats, he only swung 3 times. Every ball was hit over 100. Everything else was a straight take. He was facing elite arms, and he was making guys look bad, like taking pitches. Like, come on, bro. Like, come on. Come on. The compete in him is absolutely ridiculous. It reminds me of Soto, right? So my comps for him when we get to the swings are going to be somewhere between Devers and Soto. And you're going to see both of those movement profiles exist inside of this player. And I'm telling you, this is a really special bat. This is a really special bat. Like, look at these moves. Look at these moves. Look how easy everything is, right? Look at this bat path. Look at this bat path. Look how tight and clean this path is and how well he's able to hold it. I mean, his bat path is in the zone for days. And watch him absolutely demolish this pitch at the top. Because he's got a flat swing, he can cover up top and he can cover down low. And he does it really, really well. So all those guys with high spin, he gonna feast. He gonna feast. You ain't gonna get that by him. He gonna leverage against that. Take a look at this one. Absolute piss missile. Wait till you see the kind of juice that this kid can produce. Look at this bomb he hits. Like, that's an absolute tank. IMG's field is enormous, right? That air is tough for the ball to cut through. This is a piss rocket. This is not an accident that he is where he is in this draft. This is a kid that has really elite feel for his barrel. He knows how to leverage his mass into the ball, and it's only going to continue to get better, right? Dean has an incredible system. Dean is a looser mover that pulls slack out as fast or faster than anybody you're ever going to see. That's why he's capable of such high exit velos and throwing the ball so hard. And as his upper body continues to fill out, and as those strings continue to gain a little bit of tension over these next couple of years, all that juice and all that hit tool, it's going to be sitting there all day, every day. It's not like it's just going to go somewhere. He knows how to hit. And the power is going to show up even more and even more. Let's take a look at the swing comps real quick. This is a very similar move, right, to what you're going to see from Dean when he has his two-hand finish on balls that are middle in. When he's got the ball away from him, sometimes you'll see him shut down that lower half completely, and it's just a little stick job to the opposite field, and then he'll piss on one in the oppo gap at about 105 or 102 on a low angle. But when he really gets one and gets through it to the pull side, that's what you're going to see. You're going to see something real similar to that. Dean doesn't often finish with one hand, okay? He is bottom hand dominant. He's a right-left, okay? So he can leverage that bottom hand, and it does show up sometimes. I have a feeling in the future that you're going to start to see those outside pitches, the ones that he's punching for those 105 liners the other way, you're going to start to see something like that show up, right? And then it's going to be like 114 the other way in the air. The other thing about Soto, right? Watch how tight this turn is and watch where this entry point is. This is a very similar thing to what you're going to see from him, and that's why the hit tool is so crazy. Like, just like Soto, Dean's barrel is on plane forever. A couple other unique things about Dean. One, he has the best eyes of any hitter I've ever seen. And they just got tested at the combine. It was the best there. It was 28 in both eyes. When you watch him take pitches and spit on stuff before it's at the plate, I haven't seen too many guys in my career or my lifetime be able to do that. Like that's special. Like he's got fighter pilot eyes. He knows, like, out of the hand. His ability to take stuff that's real close and take really good pitches is special, and it's really different. Dean has a very unique background. Dean's mom and dad, they met at Stanford undergrad. And then his dad went to Harvard Law, and his mom went to MIT. Both of them are absolutely brilliant. Him and his brother Dylan are two of the most unique and interesting cats I've ever met, ever worked with. I love both of those guys. They are both savages. They're also both brilliant. They've learned how to take what they have here, and they've learned how to apply it to everything in this game, but man, Dean is really special with the bat. And there's not anybody that's ever watched him or seen him that's going to say anything different. In this game, we've started to value like what people can do with their body over what they can do with their bat. Well, now a lot of big league teams, you guys are out there and you're getting guys at the combine, and all of a sudden, because a guy has a crazy vert, even though he's never hit in his whole life, he's bumping up on the draft boards. He may have the best vert in the draft, but you can't teach him to hit like this. And the last thing I'll say about Dean, there are certain people that have that clutch gene. There are certain people that when those lights go on, their shoulders go back, they step up, they stand out, and they go out and they get it done. For me, at the end of the day, Dean should go in the top 30 picks, no doubt. For me, it's the best hit tool in the class, and Dean's a winner. Dean's a winner, and Dean's a savage, savage competitor. You watch him in the dugout, you watch him on the field, you watch the way he runs the bases. He wants to be great. He wants to be a big leaguer, and at some point he's going to be. And I'm excited to see if that process is going to start the next couple of days after this draft.